So 10:05, let's go ahead. 5 minutes is good timing. We have an hour and a half altogether, if I am not wrong, and it's a pleasure to welcome all of you who have, all those of you who have accepted our invitation to be with us for this short update on the ongoing capacity building for European Capitals of Culture project. There's a number of us behind the screen that are partners of this project. Let me, introduce at least the partners, the institutions. Can I have the further slide, please? Right, so this is a project that is led by AEIDL, based in Brussels, Belgium, with a series of partners: Culture Action Europe, InterArts, NCAT, the European Network on Cultural Management and Policies, and the UCLG, United Cities, and Local Governments Committee on Culture. And we have been commissioned by the European Commission, DGEAC, Directorate General for Education and Culture, to provide services to the European Capitals of Culture, with the aim of supporting them as much as possible in what we have called, what has been called, the capacity building of competencies, skills, etc. This project started late 2019 and will run until 2022. And our aim is, as is shown on the slide, to support the ECOCs through several strands. First, we did a mapping of the needs that the ECOCs have in terms of professional skills and competencies of their delivery teams. And then we moved on to an ongoing, actually, it's throughout the duration of the project, setting up a pool of experts that could individually serve the needs of the ECOCs in terms of both training and consultancy services. So we have an open call for proposals, and we will hear about it later on. Then we have a big strand of training, let me put it that way. We have called them the Academy Camps for the European Capitals of Culture. It's a series of 5 Academy Camps that we will organize throughout the duration of the project. And up to today, we have organized 2. We will also hear about this later on during this presentation. And finally, we intend to support the ECOCs, but also beyond the ECOC delivery teams, those professionals that might be interested in the themes tackled through this project, by providing a series of webinars and podcasts, but also training material, toolkits, and a repository of documentation. As we say here at the bottom of the slide, this is a technical assistance to the European Commission, again, to serve the purposes of supporting the ECOC delivery teams with these services that I have just mentioned. I think that the next slide is already about the, the pool of experts. So let me just welcome you all. This is an impromptu sort of session, in the sense that we have been discussing all along this project with the European Commission, and we understand that as much and as far as possible, we should be able to share the ongoing activities, the ongoing, let's say, outputs and information that we are gathering through this project. And therefore, we thought that coming summer, yesterday was the start of the summer, it might be interesting to, invite those of you who might be interested to hear from us, to tell you about this project, tell you what we have done and what we will do in the next months, just to put you up to speed and to answer any questions that you might have. So we have organized an agenda that will go through the different items of our project, the different strands, the pool of experts, the academy camps, the podcasts, and the archive of documentation. We will give the floor to the different colleagues involved. This is a team effort. I want to say that everybody, around this screen has a role and plays a role. So we will share the presentation, and we're here basically to not only update you on what we're doing, but also to eventually, hopefully, get your feedback and answer your questions. So I give the floor to our colleague Christophe Tevignon from AEIDL to present the strand on the pool of experts. Thank you all. And Christophe, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mercedes. So my name is Christophe Tevignon, and I will make a quick tour about the pool of experts. Until now, there were two rounds of evaluation of expert profiles, and all the approved profiles have been stored in the database, which is available on the website through a screen dedicated to the delivery team. So this database is not available publicly, so you need to request the access to be able to search and browse this database. So far, there are 177 expert profiles in the database, and there will be the next round of evaluation taking place in next September. So the number of experts available in the database is growing little by little. So until now, there are 177 experts. These experts are categorized in several main categories. So you can see on the screen, it goes from management skills to communications to production, audience development, conflict resolution. It could also, you could find experts on legal affairs, intellectual property rights, and even digital strategies, etc. So you have a whole scope of expertise available in the database, which you can search easily. So if you can come back to the screen, yeah, one more, please. One of the first with the links, just the links. Yeah, okay. So because you need to create your access, you need to contact us, and you can go directly on the first link, which is displayed on the screen right now. So you can create your account automatically online. And with this link, which is not public, so it's only presented to you now, it's dedicated to the delivery teams. If you create your account from this web address, then your account will be granted the access to the expert database. So now I will share my screen and show you how to navigate through the database. Just let me share my screen. So I hope you all see my screen. Yes. Okay. So here it's the homepage of the website, and you can see on the top that there is experts menu, and then you have the submenu pool of experts. So if you click here, you will be led to the main page where you can access the database. So if you don't have your login already with your account created, you can send us an email to this email address displayed on the screen, and then we will send you the web address where you can create your account. Once your account has been created, you can access the pool of experts. Here, you click, and then directly you're in the database. So you can see already directly that the total number of profiles you can find in the database, so 177 so far, and it will be growing next September. On the right side of the screen, you have some filters, so you can search by name, first name or last name. Then it will ease the way to find names. If you already know the name of an expert, you can filter like this, or you can, for instance, select by language. So you can maybe type just the beginning of the language, and then it will display the available language. I select English, for example. And I can also combine with a country. So if you want to search for someone in, I don't know, France, with English as a language, and then you can just click on the button filter. You wait, and you can see that there are 8 profiles with English as a language and France as the country. And then you can see the name of the experts. You can see the main fields of expertise of these people. And also you can have direct access to their CV, where you can, if you click on the link, you will directly download the CV with all the details of the expert, or you can go to the user profile online on the website. If you click on user profile, then it will display the full detail of the expert with the languages, and then the fields of expertise with more details. So you have a full description and understanding of the profile of the experts. So this is relatively easy to navigate, and you have also, if you want directly to go to some part of the profile on the top, you can navigate and click. So for instance, if you want to go directly to the CV, you click, and then you have the link to the CV and kind of summary of the profile. And if there are online resources like personal websites or other information online, you will have the link. So this is available for all the experts present in the database. I can then come back to the main page. So if you want to display, for instance, all the experts in conflict resolution, for instance, you just click on this type of expertise. If you want to display them all, you select the number of items you want per page. So I can select all, and then I filter. And you will see that in the database, we have 21 experts specialized notably on conflict resolution. And you can see the full list with all the names. And for each one, you have the details, direct access to the CV or the user profile. So the navigation is relatively easy. There is, once you have done a research, you can reset to delete all your search, and you come back to the full database. So I think that's pretty easy. If you have any problem, you just contact us by email or directly on social media in the Facebook group or in the Twitter account, and then we'll come back to you with a one-to-one help or direct contact. So that's the main tour of the expert database. You can ask any question if at this stage if you want or if you have. I don't know if the explanation was clear. So the objective of the database is to really to make available a list of potential experts for the delivery teams. Again, it's not publicly available, so it's only for you. And there was a careful screening of all the profiles, so you have a guarantee that all the experts are real experts with a deep expertise in all these culture-related fields.
Thank you very much, Christophe. As Christophe was saying, are there any questions right now that you might want to ask as to the functioning of the pool of experts? Let me remind us all that this is an ongoing process. It's an open call for candidatures. Professionals are free to submit their candidature throughout, the year, just very spontaneously. And then, every 6 months, there is a selection panel that meets, and as Christophe was explaining, does the screening, makes the evaluations, and decides on the experts to be included in the pool. I think that, on our side, it's important that we stress that we think this might be an important tool for the European capitals of culture. Of course, it is to the European capitals of culture to go into the database and search for the relevant experts, but our assessment is that there are very interesting people out there, very capable, that are not necessarily on the scene within, let's say, the usual suspects that one might know. There are also there's also, a high number of younger people that are in this pool of experts. So I think that, there is an open invitation on our side to you all, European capitals of culture, to log into the pool of experts, into the database, have a look at the pool of experts, search around, contact us if you want any further information. And also in particular, we would like to stress the fact that we count of you also to let others know that this tool exists. It's important that word gets out, and that the highest number possible of European capitals of culture knows about this database. And again, it's up to you to use it. So we're here to serve you in any way possible. And if you have any questions now or later on, just feel free to contact us. Having said this, let me give the floor to Fran Gracia from InterArts for the presentation of the other strand of activities that we have, which are the academy camps. Thank you, Fran.
Hello, good morning.
Hold on. I have Rosella has a question.
Okay.
Sorry for this.
I'm sorry. No, sorry. I don't see her on. Sorry, forgive me. I didn't see her raised. Sorry.
Yes. Good morning.
Rosella.
Good morning to everybody. To the colleagues from European Capital of Culture, so also to all of you. I would like just to put a question about DCV, about the names. Is the list open to everyone, or is it possible to have, it is transparent also for, I don't know, for the candidate cities, or also for the general public, or not?
So for the general public, no. It's really the access is limited to the delivery teams of ECOCs.
Only for the entitled ECOCs, is it?
Yeah, that's the main objective. There is a there is a discussion about opening it to the candidate cities and the bidding cities.
Okay, this is okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Rosella, and apologies again. I hadn't seen you on my screen. You know how the icons move, and you were out of the screen. So apologies. Having said this, what Christophe has just mentioned is absolutely important. This is for the designated ECOCs. Again, you know, keep in mind that this project is intended to be at the service of the ongoing ECOCs. And as Christophe was saying, we might open it up to cities that are bidding for the label, but still, we're not still there. Maybe afterwards, I don't know. This is something that the decision does not lie with us, but with the Commission. For the time being, we, the consortium, with this project and its instruments are at the service of the designated ECOCs. Fran, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mercedes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Francisco Gracia, and I work at Interarts in Barcelona. So as already mentioned, another objective of this project is to organize academic camps, trainings on different topics. The starting point for the selection of the topics was the mapping of the needs in terms of trainings and capacity building for the ECOCs. The first academic camp was organized for ELEVSINA delivery team on the theme audience development. They were the most responsive in the needs of a training on this topic. So this training, this academic camp on audience development was organized for ELEVSINA's delivery team and other social and cultural stakeholders. Of course, because of the COVID pandemic, we organized it online through 8 sessions covering the principles of audience development and planning, theory of change, strategic planning, and cooperation and partnerships with other stakeholders and institutions. This program was prepared by Interarts in cooperation with 4 lead trainers, Cristina da Milano from ECOM in Rome, Alessandra Gariboldi, Fondazione Fitzcarraldo, Niels Rigolt from the Danish Center for Arts and Interculture, and Jonathan Goodacre from the Audience Agency. We also count with the participation of ELEVSINA CEO, Maria Panagides, and other ECOCs participated in this event. Tanya Kalsic from the IECA, Lazar Jovanov from Novi Sad, and Marilyn Redan from Galway 2020. The second academic camp is ongoing. We started the sessions on May, and we are going to finish at the end of August. I sent invitation to other ECOCs in the previous weeks. If you didn't receive an invitation to participate in the different session, please contact us to send you again the invitation. The theme that was agreed with Chemnitz in Germany 2025 was digital approaches in ECOCs. The selection of the topic is the result of a number of months of negotiation with Chemnitz delivery team, together with lead trainer Nicole McNeely, which is member of Cultural Solutions and cultural consultant. The aim of this academic camp is to highlight how digital is transforming and revolutionizing the work of the different ECOCs. This academic camp is divided in 6 modules actually, but the first one is organized in 2 parts. As I said, we started in May. The audience of this academic camp is Chemnitz delivery team and other selected social and cultural stakeholders of the German city. And we also did it online. I see that Rosella Tarantino is is online. And if you want to share your experience because you participated in one session of this second academic camp with Chemnitz. No? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think it was very, very interesting because it was focused on one side on the scientific aspects, how to use open data in the evaluation and monitoring field. And on the other side, it's also very important because it showed the creative use that we can have with open data. And I think it could, and it was very, very interesting because it was a way to combine these scientific aspects and the creative aspects. So I suggest that also a large panel of European capital culture can take part in this team, because it was also a very innovative team and also very promising for the future.
Thank you, Rosella. So another important part of the academic camps are all the training resources created in the different sessions. So after the first academic camp, we created a video that summarized the main theoretical parts of the academic camp 1. We also created, in coordination with NCAT, a series of podcasts related to the main topics raised during the first academic camp. All the resources are available in the project websites. I put the address in the slides. Maybe do you want me to share the screen and I show you where you can find the different materials created in the first academic camp? I will do it. Just 1 second. Ah, sorry. Okay, just 1 second, please. Do you see my screen? Yes?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so first, the video, the summary of the first academic camp, as I said, with the most important theoretical points of the first academic camp. You can find it here in webinars. For now, we only have the video of the first academic camp. I'll show you right now. The video is divided in different sections, of course, related to the content of the first academic camp. On the other hand, you can find 5 podcasts here on the project website. The first one was recorded by Sylvain Pasqua, and the other ones were recorded by experts, lead trainers that participated in the first academic camp. Cristina da Milano, talking about the principles of audience development. Alessandra Gariboldi discussing on change management. Niels Rigold, exploring iterative planning and implementation. And finally, Jonathan Goodacre, discussing on cooperation and partnerships. So do you have any question? Ah, sorry, I didn't mention that now we are speaking with Vesprem for the organization of the third academic camp, hopefully in October this year. For now, we didn't decide the topic on the academic camp, but we will let you know in the news of the project's website. if someone has questions or something to.
Thank you, Fran.
Yeah.
Questions? Comments? Suggestions?
Well, I have a suggestion. If
Go
you
ahead.
are running, for example, I know everybody is very tired already of screens. That is the idea. That's why we actually went for podcasts in order to have a bit of a diverse experiences after these 1.5 years. So if you are running or if you are just washing the dishes, just listen to those podcasts and at least you have an enriched experience in dishwashing or anything like that. So that was the idea, basically, to go rather towards podcast this time. So I'm Cornelia Kish from Culture Action Europe, and I would like to invite you also to an upcoming event that will take place quite in line with these academic camps and podcasts. So the podcasts can give you a basis to have a discussion, an online discussion on the 17th of September in the afternoon, where there is something that is organized by NCAT. It's called NCAT Members Talks, but it is exceptionally open for European Capitals of Culture delivery teams. And we will further have an interactive session with a wider set of experts on audience development, followed by another one on digital approaches to ECOCs. So I would propose that you already mark this in your agenda. And of course, we will send further invitations regarding this to all of you. But it will also allow to ask further questions and have an interactive session. Also, most probably the Commission will be present as well. And this is an opportunity again to have for some of your teams some extra knowledge on these two topics. So we are this is the way to open up to a wider audience also these two topics that we have already delivered as part of the academic camps. Yeah. So another thing that we would like to tell you about is that the project, in the project description, it was required that we build a repository of ECOC documents, which might be helpful for future ECOCs or designated ECOCs, and also probably of applicants ECOCs. So it's important to see that, and that's why we also want to hear your ideas of what are the key documents for European Capitals of Culture that you would be interested to look at, that would be good to keep in this library. I'm going to share my screen to show you where and what we so far have in this library. And what we try to do is to use tags. Do you see it well? Maybe yeah. So on the ECOC website, we have been collecting from some of you, well, most of you actually, some important publications that maybe once you are preparing your own programs and so on could be helpful. Here I have, it works very similarly to this ECOC expert database, where we basically it's possible to screen what kind of documents you would like to see. For example, if you would like to see bid books, you put a filter on bid books, and you have a set of publications. Here we have Plovdiv and Novi Sad, and in case you don't see your bid book, we are very happy if you send it to us through this contribute button. So at this point, if you click on it, you can send by email, but I think within 1 or 2 days, you already have a possibility to just upload your documents. And of course, after an internal check, we will put it in the ECOC library. It's also possible, for example, to search on a specific country if you know that you have heard that in Aarhus there was a similar project to yours. You put the filter and then you can look for the documents there. We know that many of you already have on their website some of the documents. What would help us is if maybe you would send us per email the key documents you think would really fit into this library, and the documents that you think that are useful for others, so that we enrich the library with it. For example, so far we have the publication types here. We have the bid books, the cultural strategies, evaluation, reports, self-assessment, and also, for example, training materials, which are currently the ones that are for the academic camps, but other training material developed by you, if you're open to share it, could be uploaded here. And actually, here I would also like to open the floor if you think other publications, what other publications would be really fitting into this library. I see also that in the call, it also mentions, for example, some academic papers would be good to be uploaded here. So I would just really like to ask all of you, what do you think, which type of documents would be useful for you? So that we can make it available in this library. Another thing I still wanted to mention is that the library also has some documents for which you would need to log in at one point, because we understand that sometimes you would like to share some documents with some other ECOCs, but not necessarily the whole public. So if you would have some comments on that, we would appreciate, and we would like to hear from you what you think would be the best way forward on this. So the floor is open. Please let us know. Oh, I see some comments already in the chat. Yes, just go ahead, Maria.
Thank you so much. I would like to bring to your attention that last year in 2020, in April, when the pandemic started and all the problems, we initiated regular meetings among the coordinators of the volunteer programs in the ECOC cities. I don't know if you've heard of this, but we've been meeting regularly every 2 weeks, kind of. We had nearly 30 meetings so far, and we started some projects together. And we identified some needs of the volunteer coordinators and the volunteering programs of the ECOC cities to exactly, just bring this knowledge from the previous ECOC cities to the current and future ECOC cities in order to have a quality management of volunteers and to build a legacy. So we kind of tried to parallel a little bit now, and maybe we can somehow discuss about this, about creating a pool of experts in the area of volunteering of the ECOC cities. So we already have about 25 people in our database, so maybe I can share with you and see whether it's appropriate or not to kind of collaborate with this project, with this informal network of ECOC volunteer coordinators. And we are also working on a methodology through an Erasmus K2 project, methodology for youth workers to train volunteers in big cultural events in times of crisis. So it's kind of a methodology to train volunteers in order to perform in times of crisis or in events, to be prepared to respond in times of crisis, of course. Also sharing our learned lessons from the pandemics. So maybe this can also be a topic for us to approach, lessons learned from the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, thank you.
Do you have any kind of outcome document of this Erasmus?
It will be a methodology for working with volunteers in times of crisis, how to train, the trainers in order to create resilient volunteer communities for the ECOC project, and a manual, a handbook, a manual for working with volunteers in times of crisis. So maybe that could be also of interest for the whole ECOC family.
Definitely, it's something to put into the library, and these are the inputs we are really looking for as well.
We just started this project in March 2021, and it will end in December 2022. So yeah, next year sometime we will be able to add these documents to the library. Yeah. If we all agree.
Yes, Becky?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, and I think that linked to that, we could expand that theme, and you could create a section which focuses on any initiatives that have almost been a legacy or follow on, even spontaneously from the cities, because that's the key to continuity and exchanging examples of, for example, the volunteers in Matera. They've set up an association, and the volunteers are continuing to develop their availability in the cultural scene. So that's one example, but also there are many examples of initiatives that have come after ECOCs, and it would be great to have a pool of those so that other ECOCs in the future can be inspired by them and perhaps exchange as well ideas. So it's not really documents, but more a library of initiatives, ideas, which can inspire future ECOCs on what they can do after their year.
Yeah. Do you think you have any kind of a document that kind of describes it, for example, that would be useful to put?
What do you mean by that?
Let's say just half a page that kind of describes that we have set up, and so that we can maybe we can have a legacy tag, yeah, for example.
Yeah. Or create a template and ask people to fill it in. Say, what have you done post legacy? So volunteers is one example, and also in Matera, I know ECOC News, an online website, has been set up by the people that were working in the press office. That's another great example. There's many of them as well. So maybe creating a universal template for people to fill in their details. So you've got some uniformity on the data, and it could be a useful resource.
Yes, I think that maybe the volunteer, the human aspect is extremely important. So I think that it could be maybe a theme for the academic camp, or if it is possible also to encourage exchanges between volunteers, between mentors, volunteers, if you want, that the volunteer of the past European capital of culture can be the mentor for the volunteer in the new capitals of culture, and can be peer-to-peer exchanges. I think this is could be very important. I don't know if you can encourage this kind of mobility, but an academic camp, preferably in not on offline, preferably an offline academic camp, could be very useful in this sense, because as Becky said, in Matera, one of the other legacy is the post-volunteer program, because they set up a new association. They would like to continue this work in terms of fostering the access of all the people to culture. This is an important role that the volunteers played in Matera, and I think it is very, very important also for other European capital of culture, is to give access to a large number of people.
Indeed. Yeah.
Cornelia, is there something else that you want to add?
Well, actually, one thing that we were thinking of is we know that in Kaunas there will be in September, most probably, hopefully, a live ECOC family meeting. So the project will be present there, and I was thinking also to collect some of these documents, maybe by one contacting the ones being present there, so that I know that it's always tiresome and everybody gets a lot of emails and so on. So that's one way. But I was also wondering how we can further populate the library so that it really becomes almost like a discussion a place, and also that past ECOCs feel understand, and also new ECOCs have this discussion through these documents as well, that we really build a library that is very useful, and it's enriched by all the experiences. I don't know through what methods you think would be the best to contact you on this, other than, let's say, the live meetings. Because we have tried, for example, to send an email, and that it was less successful. So is there any way that you think would be best to contact you, or that you would proactively fill in some of these templates that you're proposing?
Email, definitely. Just, yeah.
Email, okay.
For us. Yeah, okay.
Good, excellent. We will proceed. So yeah, Mercedes, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. No, I was thinking that this theme, this issue about the volunteers, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Also the idea, of the backdrop of the legacy and what we might possibly do around or with this theme. So we will give it some thought, but I did not want to leave you without reminding you, Maria, that, in the list of profiles for the database of experts under communication and network, if I was looking it up here, community and network coordination experts, there is the explicit reference to volunteering. And so maybe this could also, you could relay this information to your colleagues, and eventually some of them might want to submit their CV to the database of experts. There's nothing sure, but I think that what you show with your initiative is that one has to start something, start building on something. So maybe that way we can find, let's say we can feed to each other with concrete actions that we can take on. So please share this information, and we take on us to give some more thought to this issue of how we might include further this aspect of volunteer, an academy camp or something else. Let us think about it, but thank you very much. Are there any other comments, questions, suggestions, such as Maria's, that you might want to share with us? As you can see, it's important for us, to listen to you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for giving us this opportunity. I will immediately share after we finish with my colleagues from the network, and we'll get in touch with you. Yeah, send you CVs and see how we can develop, because this is the way to do it, I think. Yes, all together. Super. A way to start.
It comes back to what Cornelia was saying, emails, you send an email, it goes out there, yes. And a lot of people answer, but a lot of people, are taken up by other things. And maybe, we just don't pay attention, or the due attention to something. Whereas, when one sees one another, then it's different. So we count on you to help us, because what we hope that we have conveyed today is the fact that we're here as a consortium, as a partnership, to be of help, to be of support to the European capitals of culture, and that in any way possible, within the remit, of course, of the project and of the services that the European Commission has asked from us, we are there to help you as far as possible, and to contribute to the development of the ECOCs.
What I can do on behalf of the informal network of volunteer coordinators of the ECOC volunteer, I can mediate this relationship. And if there is something that needs to be specifically presented, I can do that in the meetings. Maybe some other volunteer coordinators will join our project meetings, these meetings, but I can also do that extra to reinforce and be this mediator between the team of this project and the informal network of volunteer coordinators. So I can do that, and I'd be glad and honored to do that.
Much appreciated. This and any other, again, idea or initiative possible. As Cornelia has said, we will hopefully be in Kaunas, in presence. We will keep you informed about the further third academic camp that we're going to hold in the fall 2021, and of course of the other activities within these academy camps, but also, we're very keen, as has been said, to populate our repository of documentation. It's absolutely important that it's out there, with information that is of service. And of course, this idea that, we can go beyond the European capitals of culture. You probably have seen, understood, that we have a certain number of activities that are ad hoc activities for designated European capitals of culture. First of all, not in order of priority. First, the academic camps. These are closed settings, training settings at the disposal of the European capitals of culture. We have the database of experts that is also at the disposal of European capitals of culture. So these are closed settings, but then we have the open activities that are there to serve, of course, the European capitals of culture, but beyond the cultural sector at large, which are the videos that we're posting, the podcasts that we're developing, the documentation repository again. So the training material, as a whole that is being put out there online. This is not only for the European capitals of culture. Yes, of course it is, but it is, as as someone was saying, when you're jogging or whatever, and you want to listen to someone who's talking about audience engagement, then you can listen to one of our podcasts. It's about dissemination of information and knowledge rather than serving only the closed circle of the European capitals of culture. So the project has these two levels. It's not that one is more important than the other, but they are complementary. So thank you so much. I don't know if there are, again, I launch out there. Are there any questions? I don't see everybody's hand, but I'm going to scroll. Tere has said that she might help me. Let me see. Any raised hands, any comments?
Yes, I would like to know, I don't understand. Do you plan also some offline meetings?
Wow, that's the $1 million question, Rosella. Who does not plan, activities that are not online today? I think we all fantasize with that. As someone said, we're tired of being behind the screen. Initially, the activities, the academy camps, were all scheduled to be physical meetings, trainings that would take place in one designated European capital of culture, with that delivery team open to also other participants. Of course, we had to, as all of us, adapt to the situation. We will see. We're talking about hybrid. We're talking about physical, yes, indeed. But let's, go through the summer, see what happens. Yeah. And if any way possible that we work, hand in hand together around the table, yes, we will do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, because we just received this invitation from Kaunas, that you mentioned, to the ECOC family meeting in Kaunas. It would be fantastic that if you can also associate or combine some academic camp.
I don't think that will be possible. Attending the Kaunas ECOC family meeting will be an option, a possibility for us to explain again the project, inform participants, etc. I am not sure that we, in such a short time, it's too short, that we managed to organize something. And again, maybe we were, sorry, we weren't clear enough in explaining this. The academy camps are set up through a process by which a European capital of culture, designated European capital of culture, shows interest in hosting an academy camp on one of the themes that has been identified as a priority from the mapping that we did at the very start of the project. And on that basis is the basis on which we start discussing the development, the organization of the training program. So if there is not an explicit interest and will from a given European capital of culture to host an academy camp, it becomes very difficult because it is already a complex process of designing a tailor-made training program to serve the interests of that specific European capital of culture. This is not a sort of, a menu by which you say, okay, I go to Kaunas and I do this, this, and this, or you choose, you select the, no. We work hand in hand in the development of the training program, and it requires time. It requires an understanding from both parties involved. And again, it's not what we thought, well, not what we thought, it's not how the project has been structured. What we were requested to do is training program, tailor-made training programs for those European capitals of culture that might be interested. What we're seeing right now is that doing right now the second academy camp, there is actually interest from other European capitals of culture to attend what is going on with and for Chemnitz. So we are hosting participants from other European capitals of culture. So it is closed for one delivery team, but open to all those members of staff of other European capitals of culture that might want to participate. That, please keep it in mind. So we will share the information on the third academy camp, of course, as we go along. But Kaunas, no. Thank you. Any other comments? Any partner might want to join in with some final thoughts? Please.
Well, not really. So, but yeah, I just wanted to thank you all and just repeat it and insist in the fact that this program is there for serving the European capitals of culture. So if you see, I think you already identified some things that we can do and we can add to what we have. But yes, please, just we are completely open and we are there to also adapt the program and adapt some contents to what you really need. So please contact us, feel free to contact us at any time. And yeah, so that was what I wanted to say. And thank you for being here today.
Yeah, I could add that you can follow the activity on the website for sure, but there is also a Facebook group which is quite active with quite a few members now. So that's a way also to keep the conversation going and the community discussing and contributing and helping each other. And there is also a Twitter account where we can share and retweet and announce things relevant to all the capital of culture. And finally, there is also a LinkedIn page. So with all these, let's say, tools, we can keep in contact and share information among the whole community.
Yes, and adding to that, of course, if you have an activity that you would like to you would like to give visibility of, think of also this website and these channels as well. So it's also a way to advertise your events, your initiatives, and so on. We have also, for example, in the website, put every ECOC website link. So we are trying to make these cross linkages in between your website and our website. And yeah, feel free to make use of this in your communications activities.
So adding up to what my colleagues have just said, thank you so much to all of you for being here with us this morning. We hope that it was interesting in the sense that we provided useful information for you to understand better the project and to, as has been said, get in touch with us through the various channels whenever you want to. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Take care, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.